So, an interesting article with a little bias, I think, in my humble opinion. So they went through a few basic details about Queen Elizabeth II. They talked about a few reasons why she has been liked. The main one being that she kept her nose out of politics, and all issues, in fact. She took the view that the monarchy should not be a part of society, therefore not a part of the social discourse. We don't know her opinions on feminism or the environment or any sort of global issue that most people tend to weigh in on. I liked that about her, and I think a lot of people liked that, yes. She kept that role as a very figurehead type role and left the politics and the debate to others. However, people are suspecting Charles might be a little different. He has in the past been a little outspoken on certain issues, particularly the environment, and he seems a bit more ready to engage with the general public. So maybe he will be giving us his opinions on certain issues and topics. I hope not myself, but you never know with a man like Charles. Of course, finally, the article did mention that, of course, some people are questioning, do we need the monarchy at all? I would say from my experience, that probably represents nearly half the British population. Do we really need them at all? I don't personally care very much, one way or the other, but it needs mentioning as well.
Yeah. Although Queen Elizabeth might have been on the fence about a few things, Charles seems to be playing with fire if he's going to be saying his opinion too much.
I'm pretty sure it is in the job description. They are not supposed to get involved in the issues that could be related to politics. And the environment, of course, Britain has an environmental policy and lots of laws relating to this subject. So he would be wise to keep his mouth shut, I think. What was your opinion, John, on seeing some of the images of the mourning period that was going on in the UK on TV?
Passive, very just passive interest in what was happening. Although it is proper to mourn those who pass, and anyone who passes, really, almost anyone. I'll leave my opinion on that one differently, but just, walking past the TV, pretty much. Although it was a bit interesting to see the long lines to see the pay respects to the Queen, really. And that was about it. The images themselves, it is weird. She has been someone who I've seen my whole life, almost. And so it is going to be weird to have the UK on the television screen or whatever international event is happening and she's not there with her cute little hats and the dresses she wears and her mischievous smile and the quick wit. Not so sure I'm going to be enjoying seeing King Charles in that position. But you know what? I am open to be proven wrong.
I agree with you. I can't say I took a massive interest in the mourning period. I observed a few photographs and that was about all.
Yes.
So also in the article, it was mentioned that when Queen Elizabeth came to Korea, she had a tour, I think, of Andong. Strangely, I've been there and I've seen the plaque. They've got this huge photograph of Elizabeth doing her thing, and they said this is where the Queen visited, and so on and so on. But I didn't know this detail, that apparently she took off her shoes to respect the culture when she was going into one of the old aristocrats' houses.
What a scandal.
And yes, I mean, why this is an issue, I don't know. Obviously, it was very nice for the Koreans to have a foreign dignitary respect the culture, but the British press got quite a bee in their bonnet about this, because usually the monarch does not actually respect the cultural traditions and sticks to his or her own. So, yeah, I don't agree with it, but apparently that caused some controversy. How would you react if your country's president did something similar? If they followed a particular cultural tradition in a foreign nation that was considered to be either unacceptable or perhaps embarrassing to Koreans?
This happened in America during Obama administration. The nerve of Obama for trying to be a good diplomat and observing the culture. He just the worst thing he could have ever done to many people. He gave a slight head nod, which could be considered a bow, to an Asian leader, to be unnamed. And people went crazy in America, being like, how could he bow to a foreign or a foreign leader? How could he do this? And it's Asia, it's a handshake. You wouldn't yell at him for giving a handshake to, Xi Jinping or to Putin. So you shouldn't yell at a bow either, which is a handshake. Equivalent to. So, of course, it wasn't a deep bow. It was definitely a slight one, but noticeable. And even at the time, my people around me were freaking out. However, at the young age I was, which was high school, I think it might have been right before college, I was like, this is just, I don't see the problem in this. This is just normal. This is just part of diplomacy. Of course, I kept my opinion to myself at the time, but I'm telling you now.
Well, I guess this shows how seriously those people who work in diplomacy, the rules and the etiquette surrounding this stuff, they take it incredibly seriously, which makes no sense whatsoever to your average person such as us. Yeah, so maybe we should get rid of some of that, get rid of some of these nonsensical etiquette rules about who you can and can't bow to and who's respecting who in this area, because it's a bit of a dance, it's a bit of a useless tea ceremony. I don't know. Let's go and have a look at the vocabulary and take a look in more detail, and we'll see you next time.
Pay one's respects.
Pay one's respects.
Soft spot.
Soft spot.
Have a bee in one's bonnet.
Have a bee in one's bonnet.
Cue.
Cue.
Play with fire.
Play with fire.